not the kind of girl to try to play them.
Hello. Hey. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, what a happy Sunday it is, man.
Yeah.
I know, pretty lazy day for me. I went out for a
I,
little
I
bit
forced it
early.
to be lazy. I forced it to be a lazy day. All the shit I did this week, I couldn't do anything more.
Right, for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, because I have a bad habit of doing that, be ripping and running, ripping and running, ripping and running.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like when I was out earlier, it like just came over me to just be like, go home and rest. It was like a
Mm-hmm.
sleepy feeling that came over me. So I went ahead and, gave in because I was just like, I've been out and about ripping and running this whole week. I need to really
Mm-hmm.
start having a day where it's like I do nothing, so
Exactly. Yeah. I,
so
I just came back last night from visiting my daughter in Missouri. She graduated the Army.
like basic
Yeah, so
training.
travel,
So
basic training, went out there, celebrated with her friends, her battle buddies, and just
nice.
made it back last night. She left way before us, and it was pretty sad, seeing her go, but I know that she's off to bigger and better things,
Oh
so I can't
yeah.
be too upset about it.
That's
So,
a
yeah,
good way to
but
look at it.
yep. Yeah, can't be upset. I just have to let it go, and, accept the way things are going and deal
And
with the
that's
things I can't control.
not only that, it'll also be memorable for her because
Hmm.
you'll always remember right around Veterans Day. That's when she up
Yeah, I thought
graduated,
that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
They had all their graduations around that time because it was when I came in, people were graduating then, they were graduating on Friday. So, yeah, they had it at a perfect time. Made
Oh
sense.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is dope. So
Ooh,
man,
yeah,
so we got a very interesting topic today.
we certainly
Season
do.
Yeah, season 2, episode 3, the state of female rap then and now, hip
Yes,
hop and
yes, yes,
rap.
yes.
But
Mm-hmm.
before we get into that, Tazima, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram as Azima the Only. That's Azima the Only, and you can find me on YouTube and Facebook as Ozidi Wellness and Fitness. That's Ozidi Wellness and Fitness. And where can we find you, Jovani?
So yeah, you can find me on all platforms at Camp Juggle Fit. That's KampJogofit.
Mm-hmm.
That's on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You could just kick on the Linktree link and you connect with me on every platform. And I also
Correct.
encourage people to go ahead and subscribe to the WINEFINE podcast on YouTube as well to get episodes that we have already done. And you could just basically recap there or recap stereo, whatever's much easier for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, with this, only reason why I know there's a few female artists I know of now in hip hop, but other ones I just feel like we're like just being bombarded with certain artists. So
Mm-hmm.
I just basically want to like just touch base on like who was like your favorite, and anybody could answer this too. What are your favorite, or who are your favorite female artists from back in the day? What message did they relay that resonated with you? And yeah, that if anybody needs a minute to think about that.
Yeah, I think about
If
that time. I think about it, and the rapper that resonated with me was Queen Latifah.
Oh yeah, most
You
definitely.
know, and she basically she talked about unity within the rap community,
Yeah.
specifically among the women.
Oh yeah.
you know so that's what I got of it. And respect. You looking for respect. This is my body and you don't do anything with it. And I feel like that's a a common message during that time period, with the female
Yeah.
rappers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of artists that like really resonated with me is because they did talk about self-respect.
Mhm.
Salt and Pepper, Yo Yo. Um,
Yes.
Especially like Salt and Pepper, they did have a song speaking very highly about men.
Mhm.
Despite them blowing up for Push It,
Mhm.
um, they did manage to like rebrand and everything and have messages about safe sex, even though
Yes.
we're talking like this, but hey, make sure that you strap up and everything. So
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
those are, of course, MC Light as well. She's
Mhm.
definitely, said a lot of things. I was like, wow. And I just really liked how they just told stories back in the days. Like it was, yeah, it just felt real good to listen to. It was real digestible to the mind. There
Yeah.
was art, there was poetry. But
Mhm.
let's go
Innuendos.
ahead. But we got a comment from Jay. Let's grab this comment real quick.
You both look beautiful. I like your style and really do like your style. It's watching a work of art right in front of my eyes. It's like a
Thanks.
masterpiece was made in heaven for both of you because you're both beautiful. I can
Thank you, Jay.
look at you all day and I'll be so proud of myself because you are both a work of art.
Well, thank you,
Thank you,
Jay.
Jay. Thank you
Appreciate
so
that.
much. Appreciate it. Yes.
Wasn't that lovely to start off the evening? So,
Got me blushing.
uh, oh yeah, nothing wrong with that. So let's get into this. When did we start seeing a shift in female rap,
Mm.
female hip
Well,
hop genre?
honestly, I don't want to name names, but I'm gonna say Puffy kind of
That you blame
changed the
Puff.
game for female rap. Lil Kim and Foxy Brown are all under his belt, and they came. I mean, we went from the baggy jeans, and we were still sexy, but still, had hip hop. We had the look of hip hop, and I feel
Yeah,
like we went from hip hop to just like a sex machine. Like we just went from hip hop to lingerie, high heels, just a real shift. Something that wasn't going to be duplicatable for the youngins that were trying to get into the industry or trying to like it completely changed. And I blame Puffy for that.
yeah.
Club culture.
I definitely feel you on that because he definitely fueled a lot of stuff like that East Coast West Coast beef and everything. Him
Uh-huh.
and Suge, where that's probably got to be another show or something because
I bet. I
we'll be in
bet.
here or we'll be here for hours, just talking about that. But yeah, just you know. Little Kim, Foxy Brown,
Mhm.
they got in Gangsta Boo. They did
Mhm.
get into the more form fitting outfits, the more revealing. Even though
Mhm.
they did push the edge on provocative lyrics, you can't take away from them that they could still rap.
Uh-huh.
They were
Correct.
these women were still able to like hold their own in a cipher with a bunch of dudes. They could do that. I don't see many female artists of today
Mhm.
doing that. So yeah.
Yeah.
um they it was still you know three verses, the hook, just telling a story. Still they can, even though they did change things, talk about robbing dudes and that type of thing. You can't
Mhm.
take away from them that they were still rapping, that they were still
Nah.
an art to their lyrics.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
but the shift did change with them.
Yeah, but during that time period we still had people like what's her name? Missy Elliott.
Yeah, yeah,
We still
diversity.
had we still had the diversity. Not everybody was half naked, you know what I mean?
Oh
We
yeah,
had Lauryn Hill, so we it was still a good time. You know, if I
Yeah.
didn't want to listen to Lil Kim, I had Lauryn Hill. If I didn't want to listen to Lauryn Hill, I had Eve, I had Missy Elliott. You know, there was still some place to go, you know,
Yeah. Like they had Soleil
messages,
too.
hooks. Yeah, see what I'm saying? So it was still something to listen to. You know, you can listen to all of it and you can relate to all of it because, you know, sometimes I want to wear a bra see through and then sometimes I want to just be dancing to a beat, you know what I mean? So I think
Yeah.
it's a happy balance.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
We also remember when Little Kim was talking about that she was going to put out a sex tape, but end up just saying that just to put out albums. Well, just for people
Mhm.
to sell albums. It was so funny
Mhm.
because when I heard her, like after that, when somebody asked her that in a radio interview, she was like, "I'm a lady. I'm not putting it out. No, even though I talk about it, but y'all not gonna see me doing that." So there was like, left something to the imagination, and there's beauty in that. Everything's
Mhm.
not meant for public. So.
Exactly. We got one comment.
Oh yeah, let's grab this from Cools and Baby Oil Ninja.
Hello, ladies. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey.
Oh
Hey.
no, I agree with Lord Jamar. Like, I can't do female rap. I mean, I find some
Mhm.
independent artists good, but like, no, it's too like saturated. It's too sexual. I can't bump that down the street. Look, y'all seen how Ice Spice was dressed the other day? Like you're not trying to rap. Like, what,
Mhm.
whatever. Facts one.
But cool, cool. What what about the past? What are you saying that you can't listen to what's happening right now? If that's the case, I completely understand. But are you saying you couldn't listen to female rap in general? You know what I mean? Like what exactly can't you do?
Yeah, because Rod Digger's on the show, the Yana Mean Godcast with Lord
Mhm.
Jamar, and she was definitely more on the MC side.
Mhm.
But yeah, she definitely had skills and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
cuz
it's
I'm
like,
I'm like, it I don't know, it's like there was a cutoff. There's a group of rappers even like between 2000 and 2015 till now that I still the real female rappers that are out there rapping, they're still making a large sum of money because their rap is still good. You know, it's just
right,
this
yeah,
like little concentration, this little bit of female rappers that are just coming out with stuff that sound the same. They're all saying the same crazy shit, and it's not really rap. They're just saying
they just
it's like they're saying
saying
a
stuff.
mantra or something. Like they're just, you know what I mean? Like when you repeat, 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 like it's trying to burrow certain way of thinking into your head.
We got two comments. Let's grab one for Carol.
Hmm.
It's like the battle of the raunchiness.
The
Who could
battle
be
of the
the most
raunchiness.
raunchy?
Yeah, definitely.
A battle
But also
royale.
on that note, here's something to think about. Are these
Mm-hmm.
new female rappers writing their raps? That is the
Mm.
question.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I totally, I'll admit that I can't stomach, a lot of their lyrics. Like leading up to this show today was probably
Mm-hmm.
the most I've ever and I made
Listen to
sure that
any of them.
I listened to any of them, right? I made sure I
Mm-hmm.
went on another YouTube that I have that I don't have to see it in my main YouTube that I look at as being the
Mm-hmm.
algorithm because I don't want to see anything else from them because, it was just hard to stomach listening to their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
I hear you.
let's grab this comment from Cool.
No, like in the past, I like some stuff, to MC Light and all that. But what I'm saying is, just today is just like they not really verbal, and then they get trapped up, and all they can do is talk about they box and show they chest and all that. I'm like, it's just like sometimes it's just like, and I gotta be in the mood for that. It's like, and that's like
Mm-hmm.
mood music. Like, I don't know, it's a lot of effects, man.
Well,
Yeah.
I know what Cole's getting at. You don't want to be overstimulated all the time. Like you got to work too, and then
Yeah, you
it's
got to
like
start getting a headache.
you know how like you want to zone out and listen to the music, whether it be at the gym or whether it be at work or you just
Mm-hmm.
driving. It's like you can't listen to that stuff with your kids in the car. You know,
No, no, you can't.
you know. We got two more comments. Let's grab this comment from Carol.
I believe these women are playing in the game where men used to dominate, so their competition has to be brought higher. So men are raunchy, so they have to be raunchy too.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
don't
know,
know. I'm not
no.
really experiencing a raunchiness among men.
I mean, they
I
say
mean, you
crazy
got
stuff,
you
but
got some, yeah. They say some crazy stuff, but it's not to the extreme as these new
there's
female
just so
rappers.
much male rappers, male MCs, male hip hop artists. You
Mhm.
know, like there's a lot of diversity. Like you got a little bit of
Yeah.
everything. You know,
Correct.
but it's like over here now, it's like just totally in a different direction, not talking about, the self respect that, we would hear from female MCs from back in the days, the skills. It's just do this, do that to me, give me this, give me that, and that's it.
Mhm.
It's just too
But
much.
I do think that the current rap that is the female rap that's going on right now is pretty similar to the way people have been complaining about the female way of thinking. Remember
Right.
with the past episode we were talking about they're too good to go to
Is
Cheesecake
it
Factory kind of thing.
Big
You know what I mean?
Factory? Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of in the same direction, but I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
know if it has anything to do with rap when it comes to. I think the thinking was there before the rap came, and now the rap is on the same subject matter where I just want to be pleased sexually, straight to the point, no beating around the bush, no no foreplay. It's just straight to the point. I feel like rap is foreplay. And now everything that's happening now with rap is just it's pretty much straight to the point. It's not rap anymore. There's no
Is it?
rhyme or reason behind it. It's just,
Not to mention,
eating his
there's the
ass.
duration of the songs are very short now. Like before, albums, songs will be like a minimum of like 5 minutes, or even
Yeah.
songs will be way longer than that. Now, when I was
Mhm.
like looking at like the album of Ice Spice and looking at the duration of all her 6 songs that are on her
6 songs
album,
her album, yeah.
I
That
was
is
like,
crazy.
nothing was more than 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It was
But
just
that
like an extended commercial, not a
yeah.
song.
Yeah, they're jingles.
Yeah, jingles. Yeah, exactly. That was the
Mhm.
word I'm looking for. Let's grab this comment from Chelsea.
Battle of the raunchiness. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I agree with that point because I do listen to current female rap, and like you'll hear a song or two and you'll be like, oh, that's fire, it's raunchy, it's whatever. But then, and you're like, I fuck with it, I'm happy that these women are owning their sexuality, blah, 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 blah. But then when you actually try to go, like, listen to them at album length and stuff like that, it's like, wait a minute, do you have nothing else to say? Like, that's cool,
Yeah.
but, like, this can't be the end-all, be-all of your music. We all know that sex sells, but once you're selling, like, if you have something else like substance or skill, then you should be able to branch that in. And I know part of a lot of that has to do with the powers that.
Yeah, that's an excellent point there that Chelsea brought
Mhm.
up. Like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, own your sexuality, but this is all you have. Because you know what I just thought about while listening to Chelsea's comment? I also thought
Mhm.
about how even though Little Kim used to say the raunchiness that she used to say, she was still able to do a feature with Mobb Deep, you know,
Yes.
and still was able to rip it, you know? And
Yeah.
it's a classic. Quiet Storm, still to this day. I know I listen
Mhm.
to that a lot still, especially when working out. Like, come on.
Mhm.
She was
Or
still,
like
yeah,
listen to Eve with the Rough Riders.
yeah,
It's
listening to
just
E, yeah,
yeah. There was still sustenance to it. She
still
matched their
sustenance.
energy, you know, and
They did a
that, like I
little
said, that's the
sexual
thing that's
stuff.
missing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they did a little. Give them a little sexual stuff, but don't
Mhm.
freaking have a whole dang on album about it. Like,
Mhm.
fuck, we listened to a freaking a porno, a visual album. They just talk about porno.
Yeah, well, I the Sukiyana song, they eating his ass. Well, it's
Oh
called
God, wait,
eating. But
wait. Before we get
that
into
was
that,
yeah.
let's grab this comment from Cools, and then we get into the craziest lyrics that you've heard.
I think the worst is that Sexy Red. Like
Oh yeah,
she's doing all this crazy stuff. She got this sex tape out, and all these kids
Oh,
know
she
about it, and all
does.
these kids like
Okay,
it,
so she
yeah.
did something Lil Kim
and all
couldn't.
these
Okay,
kids
gotcha.
want to be just like they idol, so they gonna go and do crazy shit like they idol. I'm really starting to fall out of love with hip hop in general because like we should not idolize it the way we idolize it. I gotta come back, Flex Money.
Yeah,
I don't. I see. I. It's not. I don't find myself idolizing it. It's more. Right now, I'm at a point where it's like nostalgic.
yeah,
This is something I grew up on.
yeah.
I grew up listening to mostly African and rock music. And when
Right.
I got into junior high school and I was among other kids who looked like me, that's when I started listening to rap because I didn't know what they were talking about.
Not to mention,
So I had to educate myself. I had to find my way to wiggle in to at least be aware of what was going on with my surroundings because I had no clue about it at all.
and
So when I
also,
started, yeah, when I started listening to it, that's when I started like really falling in love with it. Before that, I was listening to Kurt Cobain and old school African music, and that was about it. And and rock and roll, you know.
and
So
not to mention, you're from the borough with one of the greatest
Wu
rap,
Tang, Wu
MC
Tang.
groups ever. Yep. So,
That's who I fell in love with first. That was my first love was Wu Tang
and
Clan.
that's a great way to fall in love because they
Mm-hmm.
definitely was, they definitely up there.
Yep.
So,
I used to bump into the Wu Tang Clan on in Stapleton.
yeah,
Um, I used to bump into them on Vanderbilt, all those places. That's where I used to see them all the time. I was there when they filmed Ice Cream.
nice.
So I have a really big connection with rap, and I don't know much about rap, but I know a lot about Wu Tang Clan.
Oh yeah, that's all you need. Hey, technically, that's all you really need to know.
Yeah. So
Oh man, let's grab this comment here, and then we'll get into the crazy lyrics.
Well, the male rap always talks about bitches and hoes, so the female rap artists are going to talk about bitches and hoes.
or being one.
And that's how people are going to reflect on these females as bitches and hoes.
Yeah, there were quite a bit of male rappers that would get into that.
I feel like that changed some too. You know what I mean? But I don't know. The way the industry I feel like has something to do with this direction that the female rappers are going
Yeah,
like
but not only
severely.
that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm really like kind of like peed off about? The fact that they got rid of A&Rs and artist development.
Mhm.
That like
Well,
really just,
they still got it at Disney.
I guess it's not a lot of emphasis is not put on it, but
Mhm.
people could really use that. Like how they portray themselves. Like how about like the weirdest lyrics that you heard from these new age female rappers? So you mentioned Sukiana's song Eating, right? So I
Yes.
my thing with that song, right? Knowing that a lot of people don't wash their ass properly, that's just like, ugh. Like,
Mhm.
oh, and then in like one of her songs, she's talking about dudes taking perks, that they got perky phalluses, and that's kind of sad that there's a young population taking those pills and stuff, and taking those gas station pills. Like, you shouldn't
Mhm.
need that stuff at that age,
Yeah, they
like,
pretty young, ain't they?
yeah.
Ah, I'm just the lyrics is it got me because I feel like Sukiyana, that last part when he just ate my ass and he want to switch. I feel like that was
Yeah.
like that was the story. Like the whole song led to now he wants to switch. Like
Now here's the thing. I did listen to some of her early music before this really
mhm.
overly raunchy, prostitutish type music.
Mhm.
She wasn't, the best, but I would prefer her older stuff than listening to her newer stuff today. Cause
Mhm.
she got one song called Food Stamp Ho. Um where it's like she's like, oh, we, in the video, she's like, oh, we need this money so I can go get my surgery and stuff. It's just you
Mhm.
just met like, even though we know little Kim got surgery, you never heard her freaking like pushing it to others.
Nah, and that goes for every other rapper that got
Yeah,
surgery. Between Nicki Minaj, uh, I say Weed Quote. She talk about getting her teeth fixed and shit like that.
yeah,
What's her
Cardi
name?
B. That's a
Cardi
teeth,
B.
but that's not a
Yeah,
bad thing to get your teeth fixed, though.
I think that's like a social norm now. Like if your teeth is
Yeah,
jacked, get it fixed. It's on especially social
ex-
media being so
yeah,
popular. It's a
yeah.
necessary demon.
Let's grab these comments from Chelsea, and then we'll get back into these crazy lyrics.
But we also have to put context in and recognize that the barrier to entry for women in the music industry, if you're going for big record labels and not independent or underground or on your own, well, that is independent. Anyway,
Mhm.
like, there are people putting money in these places for these people to make records, and if you're not giving the message that they want, you don't have enough autonomy over what gets not over what you make, but over what gets like,
Play.
I want to say published. What's the music word
Mhm.
for the music industry word for that? But what gets
Publishing.
produced and like widespread on an actual label album. These artists may have more depth, but are
Oh
limited
yeah.
and taking the opportunity.
Oh yeah,
Got your point.
they definitely got debt, and they definitely signed away the good stuff, the royalties and whatnot, publishing. Let's see,
Well,
we got another.
yeah. Go
What?
ahead. Play the other comment.
Okay.
I'm gonna try not to
So I
forget.
only know Suki in the context of her her sex and her sex work, and
Mhm.
then her music. Um, are you saying that she has music that isn't sexual? Because I would almost find that hard to believe.
No, 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 no. She still had the music was still kind of sexual, but it wasn't as freaking like the song I
Descriptive.
heard. But yeah, it wasn't as descriptive, and she was kind of like shooting her shot with a guy, that type of thing.
Mhm.
That's pretty normal for like rap music, hip hop music to do a song like where you're pursuing the opposite sex. But it wasn't
Mhm.
as like she didn't look. She looked more toned down. She wasn't as crazy with all that wigs and all that extra makeup and the extra glossy lips. And at that time she didn't have her surgery, so I know
Mhm.
that can definitely change a woman's energy when she do get some surgery or get her breasts done.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, she definitely
Well,
still had.
I figure you after the surgery you gotta pay for the maintenance and shit like that, and that it's not cheap. So you gotta do
No,
what you
it
gotta
isn't.
do. You gotta
Oh,
do
and
what you
then
gotta do.
I remember looking at an old video that she did where she was basically apologizing to fans, saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, this music industry is really ran by the devil, and I signed my soul away." And she did, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I guess she's come to terms with that, so that's why she's carrying herself the way how she is. You know, all that stuff she be
Is she
doing.
still rapping? Because the album that we're referencing with Sukihana was made in like 2020. So I mean, is she still in the game?
I mean, I see she had like some feature with like Sexy Red. You know, it was, you know, of course, terrible like any other song, but you know, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's grab this comment from Chelsea.
I think people always got their teeth fixed when they got famous. It's the
Yeah, that's what I
fact
thought.
that braces
Yeah,
are now being more socially acceptable, and you're not being like ostracized and ridiculed for having them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is
I
why we see it
honestly,
so
yeah,
much.
I
And
agree.
then internet combined with it's just how we have the access to like false lashes and all the celebrity style beauty tips and
Mm-hmm.
tricks that they were doing, the lace fronts. Like, we have more access now.
And then everybody looks the same too. Like that's another thing. Like female rappers, MCs before artists, they all had their own looks. They would switch it up. Like it, even though they would may wear wigs, but they would still wear their sew-ins, or they would wear their
Mm-hmm.
shortcuts, like wear their ponytails, wear their real hair. It was diverse. It was really diverse. Now it's just everybody. Oh, and the freaking awnings for the eyebrows. Those things, those
Are you talking
edges.
about the baby hair, the
Oh,
edges? I
that's
love
not
my
baby hair.
edges. Do
That's
you
that's.
love my edges?
Mm-mm-mm.
No, I look. I just think it like we're in reference to diversity when it comes to the looks. There's not much of that these days. But back
No, because
then,
everybody looks
you
the
know,
same.
yeah, because what Missy had her short haircuts, the Brat
Yeah,
had her braids,
yeah.
Queen Latifah had her
She'll wear her
her,
hair.
her hair the way she always wears her hair. I think today she still wears her hair the same way, either
Oh
pulled
yeah,
back or slick. Um, what do you call it? I'm trying to think of all the looks. Like I said, everything started becoming the same after. Oh, Lauryn Hill had her locks, and then
yeah,
she had her fro. Things started
yeah.
becoming the same after Little Kim came in with the wigs and the different color wigs, and then everything started to go in that direction of female rapper.
Oh yeah. Ooh, I love it.
Hmm.
People coming in with the comments. Let's go ahead and grab them from Carol.
I believe that's the thing. The music industry doesn't really care about their image as long as they're singing something that's going to make them money. And it's the public that's allowing all this because they're listening to this music. They're looking at this degrading images, almost practically like porn.
Hmm.
And children are watching this. So parents need to really watch their kids. That they're
Hmm.
not watching this because it's slowly
You mean
becoming like porn.
That actually,
under the influence?
honestly, there's been a couple stories where a lot of these female artists they have all these followers, but only barely got like 11,000 in sales for their like
Okay,
albums and
okay.
stuff.
Listen,
So
that's the point I wanted to get to. There, I think about the old school rappers, right? The old
oh
school
yeah,
female rappers, and if they didn't weren't that if let's say they were popular but they didn't get the sales that they want, the industry wanted, right? And then you got this change up, the style change up, the wigs, the colors, all that stuff like that comes in, and they're getting gaining popularity, they're making the money and everything like that. Then they're gonna go with what's working, even though the message was there. Nobody wanted to hear the message. Really didn't care about the female rappers because they weren't sexy. They weren't like, oh, I like the music, but I didn't really want to sleep with Queen Latifah. I didn't, the Brat's gay, so I ain't got no chance with her. Now you got all these female rappers coming out looking, from like, let's say from the Little Kims all the way to the Nicki Minaj's and everything in between, right? And that's what's selling, then you're going to go with that, and you're going to go with somebody who really don't have a message because you're just trying to get the sales. I feel like all this is in reference to the money and how much money
Right.
can we get and use these ice spices, these sexy reds, these Sukianas, because they're never going to compare to Nicki Minaj. They're never going to compare to Queen Latifah. But as long as we can get the funds out of them before they fall off. I
Ah,
know I said a lot. I'm
you just
sorry.
you just said something really deep right there. I don't know if everybody caught that, right? So if you're so in a nutshell, if you're portraying yourself how these women are, they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
use you for what you want, just like with Drake,
Yeah,
bigging
because
up
yeah,
Sexy
go ahead.
Red. He's just
Yeah.
basically using her, using her name to get whatever sales he could get from her, or even like an
Hmm.
Ice Spice, just
What, like
basically
the
using
Barbie
her.
movie?
By the Barbie movie, and if you look at all her videos, she's doing the same, shake dance,
It's the
and
same shit. She can't
right,
dance. Sexy Red
yeah,
can't dance.
and then
They even
the
trying.
video, they showed a video of her like in one of the concerts, and everybody was just looking bored in there, and then she was trying to, you know, she was bending over, shaking her tail feather and stuff. So it was. But I see we got comments coming in. Let's grab. Cool.
People ain't getting braces. They all getting these veneers, these
Yeah.
CRB teeth.
Yeah, they
Looking
going
all
to Turkey for
crazy,
that.
shaving
CRB.
down their real teeth. Like, why they got that gold shit? Like, man,
Hmm.
some clown, bruh. Facts one.
CRBT.
All right.
That's Chelsea.
But right now, you are listing women who do not chase the traditional beauty standard that is
Hmm.
highly valued cross culturally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely have their own beauty. Yeah, definitely
Nah.
nothing is really traditional anymore. So
No.
let's grab this comment from Sean Nova.
Bahamadia had an afro. Shout out to y'all sisters. Shout out to the
Hmm.
listeners as well.
All
Oh
right. See.
yeah,
So
Bahamadia.
yeah. Oh
I
my
used to
gosh, my
have her. I
eyes.
used to have her vinyl.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my brother gave me her
The
vinyl.
memories. Oh. But yeah, everybody had a different look. Yes, Sean.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it, like when you think of like Bahamadia, LaShawn, Queen Latifah, like they really
Hmm.
didn't have, like what you were saying that, oh, I like Queen Latifah, but she doesn't bring the, sex appeal out. But it's
Hmm.
like, is that like always needed? But I guess that's what, they want what's marketable.
Hmm. Correct.
Grab this comment from Cools.
So I think that's the difference between back in the days and today's. Back in the days, they didn't have all this social media to get out there. So if you was popping, you was actually popping.
Popping. Exactly.
Today, you have all this social media and all this other influence that makes you hot, and they're not really making the sales because the industry and all that's really getting the money basically off these clicks and
Hmm.
people actually giving and selling their information. That's
Oh
how
yeah.
that's how the revenue is being made. But as far as the artists, I don't know. It's all in shambles. Facts one.
I feel like the artists these days ain't making money off of any of their music. They're really making off of popularity, maybe their YouTube channel. If they're getting enough subscribers, they're making money off their deals. That's where their money is really getting made. The music, I don't feel like the music. I don't know if the music is really the people that we're looking at, or if they bought what people told them. Like, say, Sexy Red. No matter what they say, you're sexy. Do these things. It's sexy. Sell the sexy. Even though to me, I don't feel like she sold sexy. I'm not getting sexy vibes from her. But that's what she's selling. And I feel like it's not really about the song anymore. It's more about how much funds, how much money can you acquire in this short period of time. Because I feel like all three of them know their lifespan is very limited. It's small.
But
It's
check
not
this
going to
out.
last forever.
With Charleston White, he made a very good point in this video saying that Sexy Red is delivering a whore spirit, targeting black girls with imagery. Because he made a
Mm-hmm.
point saying that, melanated girls before they were attacked, to be like, oh, in order for you to be beautiful, you got to be blonde and long and hair
Mm-hmm.
straight and everything. But now it's like, okay, well, let's empower them to, deliver this whore spirit, whatever
Mm-hmm.
that means
So
in
you're
context.
basically saying the goal is not to build us up anymore, it's to rip us down.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You're it's like basically telling you, yeah, you're building your confidence, go shake your ass, go do this and that. It's going to build
yeah,
your confidence, you know what I mean?
yeah. You
While
can
in the
sleep with these
meanwhile
guys.
it's doing the exact opposite, and it's making you as a people look bad, even though one has nothing to do with the other. From the eyes of the world, everybody had their opinion about melanated people in their culture. Now this is just another chip at the view of the culture.
And then on that note, yeah. So, when I brought up Salt and Pepper before, how they would talk about safe sex, but then here
Mm-hmm.
you have Sexy Red talk about how, she got burnt by chlamydia a couple times
More
and
than
stuff.
once, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, let your message be now, like, hey, y'all, be careful out there. You don't just want to be all willy nilly with anybody,
I
you
feel
know.
like, well, if anybody does get a message, it's just not to be like that.
I hope not. I
If they're
hope
if
that's
they're
the
learning
message they
something,
get.
I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
I don't want to be like Sexy Red. I don't want to be on national television with a rash on my lip, you know. So I'm probably not gonna follow her direction, even though I like her music. Maybe I'm just not gonna do what she's doing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, there's somebody. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there like, damn, I like her, but that's fucked up. They zoomed
Yeah.
in on her lip, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Let's got this
3
comment from Kat.
comments.
You
Oh my
also
god.
have to look in generation.
Mhm.
Every generation, the music changes, the
I blame
dressing
Puffy.
changes. Look like back in the 50s when they were wearing the poodle skirts and showing their ankles with their bobby socks in their shoes. And the guys had the leather jackets with chains and stuff like that. And then, let's say in the 60s, they had the tight pants. It's
Pedal
the music
pushers.
genre changes with the generation of the young people, how they're thinking, what they're wearing. So the music is being influenced that way.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
totally agree.
mean, it could just be history on repeat. In the 1930s, there's a lot of blues music that was really just
Oh
as
yeah, they was
raunchy,
raunchy. Yeah.
just as raunchy. So, it's just life recycles itself, you
Oh
know.
yeah. Let's grab this
But,
comment.
Yeah, but that's what I was trying to say too. Like the music don't really have to sell. They just need to get the clicks. Because they get the
mhm.
clicks, then the clubs are going to book them, and then they gonna
And the
get
radio
revenue
stations.
like that from bookings. So
Mhm.
that's how the artist really gonna make their money. And then if it's on there like a certain amount, they don't even really have to. I mean, the club gonna report it for taxes, but then, like 110,000, whatever, you can probably slide fax money.
Yeah, because bringing up that they're gonna get people to the clubs, like just circling. Like I'm just imagining that Ice Spice video that somebody took of her in the club, and it just looked like it wasn't packed. Just a bunch of people was just there randomly looking around. Like it wasn't
Mhm.
nothing
That's
about
it.
her show. It wasn't nothing captivating about her show. It was basically the same thing you could see in her video, the same dance. So.
But that's the thing. Like outside of her music, she's she as an example, doesn't have much personality outside of it. Like if you
Yeah.
watch her interviews, she really don't got shit to say either.
Like, yeah, my mama baddie too.
You know, and 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 that's basically it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I was looking at let's say Sukiyana. Was it Sukiyana? The writers for her songs, I'm gonna just tell y'all, is
So she's not
majority
writing
men.
herself.
She's writing. She's in there with the writers, but there's like 2 or 3 men who are writing with her as well.
Oh, that's whack.
So the eating one, it's called Eating. It's on her Wolf Pussy album.
Wolf pussy.
Yes.
That's what is that? Hey men, to the fellas that's on now, is that enticing to you for a woman to describe her goodies as well, her vulva as wolf pussy? Oh man.
No.
But
I
look at all these comments. Let's grab them. Grab them.
That's what females of today are missing the message. Yes, you have the freedom of speech. Yes, you're making money, but at the loss of what? Of your
Gain the whole world.
integrity, at the loss of your pride, the loss of your whole image is just being taken down because you're making money. And yes, you have the freedom of speech, but there's certain things that you should not bring into public that you do in private.
Gain the
4
whole world for
comments.
the
My
price of your
goodness.
soul. That's what Laura Hill
Yep.
said. Let's see. We
Yep.
got Justasia.
Good evening, good evening. Shout out to the whole panel. Hope everyone's doing well.
How you
I
doing,
just want to
Justasia?
thank y'all so much for this conversation. This is wonderful to have. And I love how y'all giving the full scope of it, like even down to STD testing. Like I was telling my little sister, she 14, I was like, yeah, TLC and them used to wear condoms on their eyes. That was part of the style. Like if you're gonna
Right.
engage in it, at least let it be protected. So I just want to thank y'all for this conversation. And what y'all saying is absolutely right. I totally agree with what y'all talking about at this moment.
Awesome. Thank you so
On
much.
that subject, okay, so each time a new female rapper came out, it was always about freedom of speech, but it was always like something behind it, like, oh, we're saying this, but protect yourself. We're doing this, but there's a reason behind it. There's no rhyme and reason to this new shit. It's just random words being blurted out. Ska, just I can't even roll my R's,
What's
and
that?
I feel a bit bad about it.
What did Sukiani say? What did she say? Did she say she had semen in her lungs or something like that?
Yes,
Something like, yeah.
yes, no, that
It
is
was like
exactly what she said.
so
Semen in her
cringe
lungs.
worthy, like ugh. Like your lungs, like when fluid gets in your lung, that's considered bronchitis, right? Ooh, let's grab this comment from Cool.
Every generation was effed up. My boy Ron J said, look at DMX. DMX had 17 kids, 11 baby
Bong.
mamas, addicted to crack and all that. Not to demonize him or RP to him, but at the same time, these were the people who were idolizing. They were idolizing him. And he had all these skeletons in his closet. I mean, like,
Yo.
we gotta stop doing this. I see a lot of these kids coming out like, get the blicky, get the blicky. All
The
because of this
blicky.
music. And this
Blick
shit is
blick.
getting crazy now. Like, it's voodoo or some shit.
Oh yeah, they definitely casting spells
Yo.
on people.
I'm scared of young niggas that listen to hip hop. Get the fuck away from me, Facts 100.
But listen. Still, DMX had an album that talked about it talked about his Rough Riders. It talked about his dogs. It talked about how dirty the streets are. But then he always came back with, I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. He knows what he's saying is fucked up. It's same thing with Kendrick Lamar. They know there's a balance to the music. There's a consequence to the music. There's no consequence to these songs anymore. The album went from happy to rowdy to sad, drinking their pain away, to questioning life, to talking to God, talking to Tupac, whatever the case may be. There was a conversation on those albums that are not being had right now. Even like the men's rap music, there's no conversation anymore. That's the reason why Kendrick and what's the other one's name? The one that's half black, half white. I can't fucking think of his name right now. J. Cole. That's why their music is topping the charts. That's because there's a balance to their songs. It's talking to people. There's no talking. It's just random shit that don't rhyme, don't make sense, no story, nothing. There's nothing. Even Lil' Kim, what's the other one's name? I can't think about. Foxy Brown. There was a story behind their stuff. There was love, there was anger, there was sex, there was a story. There's nothing happening on these albums. There's only 6 songs that don't say nothing. There's only 8 songs that don't say nothing.
Like, I'm bad. I got a body.
Yes. Look at me. I'm a baddie. And I just ate a zaddy. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't, like, the only thing that I'm bouncing to is the beat, and that's it. And if I like the beat enough, I'm going to ignore everything. But it's like I said, it's like a mantra in your head, just repeating the same shit over and over again. And you wonder why your daughter walking around with a lace front on, going to her. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, is that there's nothing there. And it makes me come to that conclusion that either what do they call it? They're industry what?
Industry plants.
Industry plant. Or they're being used, or the main goal is to tear down a community, like in that movie where everybody's been talking about, Who Cloned Tyrone.
Oh yeah,
because this ain't it. And I can't even say that this is in the free speech. It's not really free speech anymore, because free speech,
well, when it becomes
it's to a point.
Yeah, like you can't say that you're gonna unalive people in politics and stuff. That's freedom of speech to say you want to do that, but can you get away with that? No. If your freedom of speech is destructive, then you need to be held accountable for that.
Yeah, I mean, they got Mark Zuckerberg, people are filing lawsuits against him and Facebook or Meta right now because of the effects of this, how it's affecting people. And if it gets any worse, I don't see how you can't blame the industry for the direction that these children go, because there's no responsibility behind it.
Yeah.
There's no what's the word I'm looking for? Accountability.
Yep, definitely need accountability. Let's grab these comments.
Anyone titling their album Woke Pussy doesn't care what a man has to say about it.
Like, does that sound appetizing? Wolf pussy. Let's grab a comment for Dystasia. I hope I'm saying it right.
Azima, I think that's how you say it.
Yes, it is.
I think you made a great point about the men writing, and even on when you seen, I don't think Young Miami is a good rapper at all, but I do like to see her interactions with people because it's kind of more candid. So when her and Trina was having a conversation, and Trina said when she was rapping, it was always the men who was telling her to get more raunchy or, more that. And even if you look at the Notorious movie, you would see that Biggie was like, nobody want to hear that harsh, thuggish. Nobody want to hear that. You got to get sexy. You know what I'm saying? So
Correct.
that influence on, female rap, because it is such a male dominated thing, I think was something dope to bring up, because that's a perspective that don't really get talked about a lot.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Most
the thing is, okay, so let's say, I think about what's that show that what's his name is on, the guy that got all these baby mamas, and he works on like a whole bunch of different TV shows and shit like that. They make a
baby
joke of
mama.
it.
Not how much of TV shows. I'm drawing a blank.
What's that show that the whole point of the show is to rap at each other and diss each other? I'm not getting the
Rapid.
name.
Oh man, I can't tell you.
It's like a comedy show. I can't fucking think of it.
Oh, Nick
Anyways,
Cannon. Nick
yeah,
Cannon. Nick
Nick
Cannon.
Cannon. Thank you, thank you. All right, so when they're rapping at each other and they start dissing each other, and I feel like when the women get down to the man's level on that show and diss them, and it actually worked, I feel like it's a great insult. Like, it's more painful to be dissed by a female than to be dissed by your fellow man, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
let's say now you're a rapper, a female rapper, and you can literally battle any of the male rappers. You really can, right? That it goes into that whole masculine thing where you're just talking back to this man. And I feel like that's not what the majority of men want to hear. They don't want to hear a female rapper, you know, growling and doing all these things. They want something more sexual. And I feel like, and like you said with Justasia, I hope I said that right. It's not something that, if Biggie said that to Little Kim, then I feel like that might be like more of an all around thing. They didn't want to hear women rapping in that sense. They wanted it to be more sexual. They wanted women to look more sexual. I feel like that's another reason why Queen Latifah went into acting a lot. Eve went into acting. Like, there was only so far that these ladies were going to go, because they weren't going to do
Like,
what
yeah,
was
I'm not doing
expected of
that.
them.
That's private stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Let's
So
grab
yeah,
these
I can talk
comments.
about it, but it's not
Yeah.
going to go that far.
Oh yeah. All right, Karen.
Yeah, the old female rap was about female empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that the rappers now, they're empowering themselves, but they're also degrading themselves. They're
Yeah.
empowering, they're degrading.
Yeah, I have to say it was kind of cringe worthy to see Sexy Red with a pregnant belly doing a split on stage, and the other chicks egging her on and stuff. You know.
Yeah, because I think we were talking about this with the LL video, LL Cool J video.
Right, because
You were bringing
LaShawn,
that up.
she was pregnant at the time when they was doing the Doing It video. So she wasn't in. So she ended up suing them down the line for not, letting her be in the video because she was pregnant. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's like, you got, Sexy Red showing her belly, still dancing on stage, looking how she's looking.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
degrading. I definitely agree. Let's grab this comment for
Yeah.
two.
No, I think with females, it was freedom of speech. I think it was like, look at me equal, don't call me
Mm-hmm.
bitch.
Correct.
Sorry for the language, but now you talking about choke me, spank my hair, or pull my hair, spank me, whatever, and call me the B word. So it started from a level of progression and just digressed throughout the decades, Waxman.
So we could pretty much
Yes.
say that about all of rap. They just,
I, on a whole, all of rap has digressed. It
all
slowly went into a decline of,
went into a
I'd
deeper
say, a primitive
garbage.
speech. You know, Nothing makes sense. Nothing has a meaning behind it anymore. And the ones that do are the ones that succeed. And I think it's very
Right.
hard to find meaning if you are, your goal is to just make money. The creativity is not going to come out if your goal is to just make money and feed your baby. And I feel like a lot of those, from what Sukiana said, that was, what she's doing. Sexy Red mentioned that too. But there's nothing going to be behind it if you're just looking for a quick buck.
Nope. Yeah.
A lot of the rappers of the past and the current ones that are really successful, their goal is to express a thought, in the most creative way, and it says a lot about them, which also says a lot about the ones that are out right now. These girls, they're not really expressing a thought. They're just floating through life, hoping things work out, and then when shit falls, at least they got the bag. But that would go for it, the culture in general.
Now look at this.
It's
They
pretty
coming in
sad.
with the hot comments. Let's
Oh
take a
boy.
comment from Asia.
Absolutely. Listen, I was fortunate enough. I'm a '90s baby. I was born in 1990. When I was 9, I got an Eve album. With got a man and I think I'm gonna love forever. But what I remember about that album was Love is Blind, which I think is one of the
Yes.
dopest female rap songs, period. Like the fact that it was a single, the fact that it was just a good song, and the fact that her storytelling and her emotions, fire, in the video is very memorable. But that song and Heaven Only Knows, where she was rapping about her being a stripper. So in my mind, Eve was the first stripper turned rapper from my point of view of what I seen. But she didn't talk, she didn't glorify it. It wasn't fun when she was talking about it. And she took accountability there. Like if you listen to that song, it's not, she was saying she wasn't doing the right thing. So yeah, it was a balance, more of a balance back then.
And that's what I'm saying. The same thing with DMX. It was a balance. It's not like he was saying, oh, it wasn't like he was glorifying how fucked up his way of thinking was, that he viewed himself like a dog, a wild dog. It's not that. He was trying to say, this is my issue, this is the way I'm thinking, but I'm trying to fix that. And I know he wasn't successful, but the goal was to fix that shit. And it took him out, but that was his goal. And I think things started falling down. It went downward in the way people express us their thoughts now, where it's not even an expressed thought. It doesn't make any sense. Nutting on my tits is not a bar.
Yeah, there's
That's it.
nothing. It's just like, okay. Like,
Yep.
yeah. Let's grab this comment from Carol.
That's because J. Cole's music, and any other musician that has a conversation where you reason and think, that's where their music is more popular, because people are getting away from this down and dirty music. And hopefully,
they ain't getting that far away.
It doesn't end rap. It'll change
Hopefully
it, but that kind of rap will probably change or end.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm hoping it doesn't affect it too much, because I don't even think it will. I think this is just a blip in the timeline of hip hop. That's all I think. It's not going to affect it too much, because these people are going to fall off, and the people who make music and the people who are coming up, who are trying to get in, who probably ain't going to do it their way, or probably even sign with an agency, is going to do it their own way to make their money, because it's not, this is the most duplicatable, the easiest duplicatable thing to do is to do what Ice Spice, Sexy Red, and Sukiana's doing. That's the only way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, because anybody
It's
could
duplicatable, literally.
shake their
I
ass.
can take my clothes off. I can look like a 40-year-old woman, and they're like, "Oh my God, look at her! She got stretch marks and a fupa, and she up here thinking she's hot shit." And somebody's gonna love it, and I'm gonna make millions of dollars. And then, of course, it's gonna fall off. I'm gonna fall off, and then at least I did what I did, and I feed my children. So very duplicatable. Just who will I be after? That's the question. Will I be the same as Azima? I don't know. Got 6 comments. Woo.
Yeah. Grab 'em.
Look how we moved away from gangster rap. All the songs about killing and shooting down, your
Yeah.
fellow black person. All that stuff ended. Who wants to hear all that? All that destructive breaking down the community. We know our community is broken down. Why would we want to hear music about our community be broken down even more?
Nope.
Yeah,
Absolutely
those
not.
gangster rappers are actors now. Yeah, that is true.
And
So,
directors.
huh?
And directors. Because Ice
And
Cube.
directors, yeah. So I'm saying like it's just a blip. I don't think it's gonna affect the industry too much. Every time we think back during, the mid 2000s, because this is where we at, right? I don't even know if we're in the mid 2000s, but the point is, the point is, this will just be a blip. Everything will be fine. 75 years of hip hop, because I think I got like another 50 to go in my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, so about 75 years of hip hop is gonna still be
Oh,
good.
yeah.
This will not tarnish it. It's just a blip. Nothing to worry
Yeah.
about. That's the way I look at it.
Right. Let's grab
Hmm.
some more comments.
And yes, WINEFINE is just Asia. It's just two words put together, just in Asia.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm so happy I found y'all show. This is a really good conversation. I'm tapped in for real, for real.
Yeah, well,
Thanks.
thank you
Thank you
much.
so much.
Appreciated. Gratitude. All right. So we got Truth Beneath the Surface.
Hey, shout out to the ladies. What's going on? One's
TBS, how
Fine
you doing?
Podcast. What's going on? Azima, Miss Goins was happening. So funny y'all did this. We did Freestyle Friday. Lotto versus Young MA. Ooh.
Ooh. La
Super
la
dope. But shout out to all the females in hip hop. There are some females still doing it well. Shout out to Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Shout out to those with bars out there in these streets. But good to
Yes.
see y'all. It's good to see y'all rocking out on stereo. What up, though? What up?
Was that more from Truth Beneath the Surface?
Shout out to Twix in his comment, I think. Tweety in his comment, excuse me. I think that women now talk about themselves worse than men ever did. Honestly. And they call that power. So,
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. The state of female hip hop is crazy. But, I mean, there's so many young ladies I respect. Shout out to Cash Doll for being a great storyteller. I said Rhapsody. I do like Young May, even though she got gun bars. I think she spits. You know what I mean? There's a couple of females out there that's doing it for real. So, yeah, shout out to them.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely get into like the female rap, female artists that we do listen to or stumbled upon. Let's
Mm.
grab another comment.
Yeah, rap has definitely declined, but I just look at the country as a whole. Like once, and I always, I love hip hop, but I also love politics. But when No Child Left Behind got implemented, and a lot of states took phonics out of reading, I
Yeah,
knew it was
Wow.
going downhill from there. I just knew it wasn't a good look.
yeah,
It wasn't a good look for us. So, and metaphors and figurative language and stuff is taught in like 8th or 9th grade.
yeah.
Majority of this country read on a 6th grade reading level or lower. So it's like,
Oh,
even if
Wow.
you do put that out there, would they be able to grasp it? And that's the type
nah.
of regression, that we actually see with, this thing
Mm-mm-mm.
called rap and hip hop.
Yeah.
Damn. You ain't teaching the poetry anymore. The reading,
No,
the
they taking
phonics, the
art out. They
rhyming.
took arts and creativity out of school and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
one more last comment from Carol.
Yeah, the old rap had catchy messages that you caught on or you didn't catch on. You caught on,
Mm-hmm.
you felt like, oh, I get that message. Oh, I know what that
You're like,
means. Yeah,
oh.
but now it's like, what?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
The music now just jingles. It's just a jingle.
Just a long
You
jingle.
know.
That's it.
Ain't
But
even long.
yeah,
1 minute song ain't long. That shit's a jingle. That's a TikTok song. Which I
yeah,
think,
indeed.
in reference to Ice Spice, all her songs are fucking TikToks.
Yeah, well, she has no song that's over 2 minutes and like 40 seconds. Like I,
Nah. On an
yeah,
album. On a fucking
mm,
album.
I don't know how you consider 6 songs an album, but hey, whatever it is. But yeah, let's
Mhm.
talk about one last topic. Um,
Okay.
so artists that you have come across that I know beneath the surface he mentioned Rhapsody. I was definitely going to bring her up because she
Mhm.
definitely, when I first heard her, I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And I also listened to Sig the Trig. I found out about her through Big Daddy Kane. I do
Mhm.
support Big Daddy Kane. So I seen her. I was like, oh my goodness, where the heck have these female artists been? And then
Mhm.
lastly, Aisha Hall. I came across her from Godfrey the Comedian, and she's definitely, somebody that I think a lot of people would like because she is able to balance that sexy and still be lyrical, so that's definitely, I definitely recommend, y'all listen to her too if you don't already.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
I just been listening to old school.
yeah,
I'm
me
really
too.
stuck in that
Like,
era.
but
I
those
got my
are,
old MP3 player, and I just been listening to the old stuff. I mean, I still listen to. I still consider Nicki Minaj new rap. I still listen to Remy and when they come out with something. But I honestly, I feel like I haven't really given these new artists a chance, and it's
I
because
wouldn't.
yeah, I haven't, and I've only been recently listening to it recently just to like really understand them, and I still haven't gotten the grasp on where they coming from. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't need to know that your
I
booty
said
holes
I'm
brown.
I'm I'm still trying to give Doja Cat a chance. Like she's all right.
She's considered rap.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just listening to songs, and then like there's one rap verse, and then that's it. So I mean, well, it's all right.
And
That's it. That's all I gotta
oh,
say about that.
yeah, man,
All right.
we got some really great points today. I loved everybody's feedback and their points. Um yeah, it was pretty dope. I'm glad we got to talk about this.
Mm-hmm. Shit, I haven't even really given Cardi B a chance. Wow. Mm.
Yeah, that's another, I mean, another one of them that just like pushed in your face, so
Mm-hmm. All right.
mm-mm.
This was real. I feel
Oh
like I got
yeah,
a
I
little too
love it.
passionate, but you know,
Hey, you can get passionate about art and
yeah.
creativity.
Okay.
So man, so everybody definitely want to thank everyone for tuning in.
Yes, thank you
We
so
got one
much.
more, got some more comments before we get out of here.
Yeah, I'm 60 years old and I hardly listen to rap, but I listen to what my kids listen to. And when they go through the stations and what I hear, I just laugh.
Yeah, especially if somebody says their booty hole's brown.
Yes, I sang that to my husband, and he looked at me like, I know. Why are you telling me this?
Uh,
Three more comments.
yep.
If you're gonna give
Okay.
Cardi a chance, I would listen to her early stuff, like her EPs and stuff,
Hmm.
before she started releasing on a label.
Okay.
Um,
I think when those were out, a lot of it was mostly I felt the violence from it. Like I feel like she was oh, there was one that she did. I can't remember the name of the song, but the video where she was like beating somebody up, and I feel
oh
like
God.
she's trying to get rid of the beating somebody up personality and just going into the sexuality personality that she has. But I feel like I know what you're talking about because it was a big beef between her and Nicki Minaj at the early stages of Cardi B's career, and I found it to be very violent, like angry. And I was like, damn, yeah. So
Interesting.
that's it. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I wanna.
Well, let's see follow up here.
My bad. Hey, thank you. I'm glad I was able to catch you, ladies. I'm gonna have to catch the playback today. Shout out to y'all. Salute. Great show. Have a great evening.
All right, take it easy,
Thank
TBS.
you.
Good night.
My auntie used to hate rap, but when that Yang A Twins came out,
Yang
Oh,
Yang Twins.
oh gosh,
oh
yeah.
shit, she's in that motherfucking truck going crazy. Facts on it.
Yeah, they're definitely an interesting bunch too.
All right.
I would stomach them more than I would stomach the people today. Even though I didn't stomach them then, like
Mm-hmm.
that. But I'll deal with it today.
It's very nostalgic hearing that name. So, shit.
Yeah, it
Wow.
is.
All right.
So before we get out of here, Azima, where can everyone find you?
And you can find me on TikTok and Instagram as Azima the Only. That's Azima the Only. And you can find me on YouTube and Facebook as OZD Wellness and Fitness. Where can we find you,
Excellent.
Joe?
So yeah, all platforms at Camp Jogo Fit. You could connect with me through my link tree and connect on all my platforms on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And also subscribe to the WINEFINE podcast on YouTube as well, y'all. So it's been a
Exactly.
great night. Peace, y'all.
Have a good night. Bye.